So good morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku was a undead. Not a zombie, not a skeleton, or actually, it's actually called What If Deku had the power of the undead, not was the undead. So, yeah. So, in this What If, you know him as a Bon. I am gonna use what he gained from Fountain of Youth thing, where I was. So basically, short for it is immortality. Basically, Zuko is a immortal. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm just gonna grab one of the images real quick. Not that one. Yeah, this one. So it might be a little bit dark at the beginning, but but at the end, like almost towards the end, it gets brighter. So, let's begin. And I'm also adding zooming to this what if, so, yeah. So, normally I say, okay, after they were born and all that stuff, but no. Let's start at age of 5. Yeah. After the Quark Doctor thing. The Quark Doctor tells. First, yeah. The Quark Doctor tells Zumi that she has fire manipulation. And he looks over and tells Zuko that he doesn't have a quirk. But Zuko's entire body is a quirk. Yeah. He is a quirk. Not... How I put this? Yes. His entire body is made out of quirks. From his hair, all the way to his molecular structure, like DNA. He was all quirks. So yeah. But Zuko, no one knew about it. So, plus, because he is a quirked human, or human is a quirk, or him. So, yeah. So that's why at age of 5, that we'll start off with, yeah, Zuko, who was, or let's say the villains attacked, and he manages to, here, I'll do Attack on Titan reference, where Eren was under some rubble. Attack on Titans Eren Yeager under the rubble. I can't spell correctly, so I'm sorry. You know that one scene where he... I'm trying to think. Oh, here it is. I see it. Right here. So, yeah, the villains attacked and they destroyed the entire school. And it wasn't a UA high school. It was a normal school. And everyone survived except for Zuko Midoriya. Zuko was there dead. That's what they thought. Well, he was dead. But then, yeah, Zuko, so his parents gave him a funeral, putting him in the grave. But the next day, Zuko opened his eyes as he's wondering what happened. He remembers he got pierced in the chest. Here's my metal rod. Next thing, he looks down and he sees himself, or like he saw his chest bleeding. Or not bleeding, but his clothes were ripped. As he looks at it, as he felt like he got buried alive. But then he looks up and he sees he is buried alive. As he's like, so then during the nighttime, he punched right through, he hoisted himself up. His soul was a quark too. So he is a full immortal. So when he came back to life, or he was like Bond, and he wasn't used to this. As he looks up, as he breathes heavily, as he looks up, he looks left, then his right, as he could not believe. So he jumps, or he walks, and he jumps, as he knew who did it. The villains escaped before the heroes came. So then Zuko came right to their base as he sees them. As the guy literally was laughing their heads off, like ha 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 ha. Well, all of them survived except for one. And he was quirkless anyway, so as Zuko walks right in, or he says, Who did you kill? As they turn around and they see the Zuko standing there, as they could not believe him. That's the same kid. And so Zuko says it takes a lot to. Oh. So he murdered those villains in cold blood. And Zuko gets away. Yeah. So he changed his outfit. And he left, because the villains that had extra clothes So he grabs hiking boots, pants that actually fit him, shirt, to making him, and he changed his hair color so that he can and basically fit in with bigger crowds. He changed his hair color to brown and his eyes to blue so that he doesn't get recognized. So then after that, the next morning, when his sister and his mother and father went to pay a visit to the cemetery to see their son, but they were horrified. Like, I'm gonna save this image so that that's weird. Let me close that and so basically Zuko Inko, let me see, Inko, who saw, she could not believe that her own son's corpse was stolen by brute force. As some of them theorized that someone dug up her son's grave, as so she was crying her own eyes out. And she was also upset that her because she thinks that it was those same villains that blew up the school. And every single one of them was ready to find but then a couple days into the search, they found in the factory they found four, or no, let's boost it up to 6 corpses. Like 6 villains that got murdered. They were the same ones that were brutally beaten to death. Yeah. And no, I'm not morbid. So, if any of you try to think that I was like, this whatever is too dark. Why are you making it? Because after I saw, like, the episode with Bond, the undead Bond thing, this guy right here, and his immortality thing, I thought, you know what? I'll just make a what if. So yeah, the Zuko, or the villains, are still looking for the dead corpse of Zuko Midoriya. So Zuko, who no one knew about it until the last couple minutes. Yeah. So let's do a time skip to 15. Zumi goes to UA. And I'm trying to find Zumi. Give me a minute to find Zumi. Oh, here she is. So Zumi goes to UA. And, yeah, Bakugo is more anxious or actually he didn't care. But he does actually care. Because no one tries to grave rob and he had a choice between Zumi or Zuko, and he chose Zumi to save. Yeah. This is a question for you. Tell me in the comments, who would you save first? Your friend and or your love interest? Who would you choose? I would choose both of them if that was the third option. So, yeah. Because, yeah. So, Zumi thinks that her brother, he all agree that they need to go. So, yeah. Let's do a time skip. To USJ. The guy, he was wearing a mask. And there was only the Nomus things, or a bunch of villains. That was, yeah, a bunch of villains. None of them were involved with a exploding school thing. So, but Zuko, but or Zumi catches, or one of the villains catches her eye. Because, and guess who it was? Hans. It was none other than Zuko Midoriya. But he goes by a different name. Of the destruction and villain destroyer. Yeah. And but his title is, yeah. So he didn't commit any crimes, but so he shows up to where Bakugo thing, as he tells Zuko, he tells Zuko, hold on, one second. Sorry about that. So, yeah. So Zuko, he says, as the red-haired guy's like, I'll take him. No, I don't want let any of you or any of my friends or any of you to die. Or I don't want to lose any of you. As Zuko, who smiles, he chose Zumi in that little incident, over the student called Zuko Midoriya. Is he a friend of yours? And he has no grudges against you. I'm simply a messenger to telling you that in person. I am not really a villain. I'm an anti-hero. As he gets up, or as he walks away, and he turns his head and tells Bakugo Zuko's is still alive, as he says, as that caught Bakugo off guard. Where is that? As, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Basically, Zuko, as Bakugo could not believe what Zuko is saying, or the villain said, he's still alive? Yep. Yep. And he's in pretty good condition. As they could not, as after the All Might versus, actually all the pro villains were like, they were down and All Might was coming in. And Zuko just simply kicks or holds the attack, throws All Might back. And so then after the villains thing, Bakugo is punching the, like, punching a wall. Like yeah. As Zumi, or everybody's like wondering what got him all upset. Because as Ochako and Frog Girl asked Bakugo, what made you feel upset? One of my old friends of mine is still alive. You know that kid that died in the explosion of that school? Like 10 years ago? Yeah, that was terrible. It was not like super terrible. One person died that the news reported. Well, yeah. Yeah, so Bakugo said that one guy, or that one kid that died, his name was Zuko Midoriya. And I knew, or actually, remember that villain that walked up to us? Because when he said that, or after I said I won't let any of you die, that the villain walked away, not even caring if he, but he turned. Remember when he turned? Yeah. He turned and looked at us and told us he looked serious about that. And and he says Zuko is still alive after all these years. So I'm kind of getting angsty about meeting him, as it's probably going to be a trap. I don't care. I want to see him. Because it's been, as he starts tearing up, As because, or he hurts as he's excited. He has so many emotions crashed into each other's. They're like, man. But when Izumi heard... Here, hold on. Let me see. Okay. Not that one. Not that one. No. But when Zumi heard from Bakugo that Zuko, who is still alive, he's really wants to meet her own brother again in such a long time. Because she thought, how can they bring, or villains must have brought Zuko back to life as a Nomu. But then, so a time skip to All Might vs. All for One. Zuko was there. At the sports festival? No? Because he wants to be there to support his own sister. So, at the let's say at All Might, or not All Might, at the Inkos, because Asashi went for the work thing, like doing the hero job. And the Quark Doctor sees her and visits with her, and he tells her that your son is actually, it took me a long time to figure it out, but your son, as the Quark Doctor tells Inko, your son, was actually a Quark human. Not Quarkless, but he had... It took me a while I'll explain this. Reason why I couldn't find a Quark inside of his body was because his entire body is a Quark. As when Inko heard when Inko heard that her own son is a Quark, like basically a not a like super Quark, or it's not a Nomu where it's like a dead body inside of a Quark, or no, the Quark inside of a dead body. It was the other way around. So basically a Quark is inside of Zuko's, or actually, every part of Zuko's body was a Quark, all the way to his DNA, all the way to his soul. So, So, so now a time skip to or let's get back to present before I yell at. Sorry about that. Yeah, that was the. Sorry for it took so long. But he basically, Zuko, oh, please wait for part 2 to be filmed, and and there won't be any interruptions in this video, or in the part 2, so please enjoy part 2, and please turn on subtitles before this video starts. Thank you.